Jessica, and this is Crash Course AP World History.
Today we're talking about trade in the post-classical era.
We'll be talking about the Silk Road, Indian Ocean trade routes, and much more.
Miss Jessica, will this be on the AP World exam?
Yes, Clara, everything mentioned in this video will be in your exam, so study up.
To start off, trade routes were not just to sell goods and promote cultures. Disease traveled with trade routes too.
Each of the major population centers of the Afro-Eurasian world have developed characteristic disease patterns.
People were exposed to unfamiliar disease like smallpox and measles, which devastated the population of the Roman Empire and the Han Dynasty. This contributed to their political collapse.
The most well-known disease associated with much of the landmass is Black Death. It was package of epidemic disease from China to Europe. In the Americas, absence of domesticated animals, less interaction with major cities, and isolation from the Eastern Hemisphere ensured to the natives that they had little defense against the diseases of Europe and Africa.
Disease carried by long-distance trade shaped the lives of millions and altered their historical development of Silk Roads.
What were the Silk Roads again?
Remember that huge packet we had to read on trade and commerce?
Oh yeah, the Silk Roads were not basically a road, but rather a network of trade routes. The two main routes connected to the Eastern Mediterranean, to Central Asia, and to Central Asia to China. The Silk Roads expanded trade, and along the routes, merchants traded consumer goods.
It promoted the growth of powerful new trading cities and a more sophisticated organization. Productivity rose in industry and agriculture. Rising productivity supported population growth and urbanization. The Silk Road linked distant people both economically and culturally. It globalized the world of modern times. Cross-cultural exchanges increased and resulted in the diffusion of literary, artistic, and cultural traditions. Pastoral nomadic groups played a key role in creating and sustaining these networks.
Another thing that had altered historical development is sea roads across the Indian Ocean. The Mediterranean Sea had an average of maritime commerce throughout the region.
Ships and merchants were active in the Mediterranean and Black Sea, as well as on the Atlantic coast. Trade over both the Mediterranean Sea and the Indian Ocean included the use of new and improved transportation.
The Indian Ocean represented the world's largest sea-based system of communication and exchange. Ships were bigger and larger and could carry more products destined for a mass market.
Monsoons are what made Indian Ocean commerce possible. They were alternating wind currents that blew predictably eastward during the summer months and westward during the winter. The understanding of them accumulated technology of shipbuilding and oceanic navigation.
Mariners studied the monsoons and when they started and how long they lasted for. Soon enough, mariners learned how to ride their monsoons. The desire for goods not available at home provided incentives for the Indian Ocean commerce. Transportation costs were lower on the sea roads than on the Silk Roads.
Because ships could accommodate larger and heavier cargoes than camels, this meant that the sea roads could eventually carry more bulk goods and products destined for a mass market. Ocean commerce and trade simulated political change for rulers to use their wealth to construct larger and centrally governed states and cities.
Oh, it's time for the open letter!
An open letter to sweaters. Here I have a cute Christmas sweater, right?
It is cute, but little did you know that it was designed in Asia, with cotton from South America and brought back to Asia for production and making.
Then brought to California for marketing, and then brought to Illinois for me to purchase.
Every little thing was first produced and shipped from somewhere for us to grab it.
The clothes you're wearing right now were probably designed in Europe or stitched in Asia and sold to you here in Illinois.
Moral of the story is appreciate what you have because you never know what it took for it to get to you.
And to remember that everything comes from something. Don't treat your clothes like trash. Give it tender, loving care.
Good one, Clara.
Thanks, Jess. Best wishes, Clara
and Jessica. Ding! Ah!
Back to post-classical trade. The world of third-wave civilizations was a more balanced, multi-centered world than that of the most modern era. They resembled the globalized world of modern times.
Although massive inequalities occurred within the particular regions, relationships among the major civilizations operated on a rather more equal basis than in the globalized world.
The rise of China and India were major players in the world.
The Silk Roads, Mediterranean Sea, Trans-Saharan, and Indian Ocean has flourished and promoted the growth of powerful new trading cities.
The growth of interregional trade in luxury goods such as silk, cotton, porcelain, precious metals, and many more encouraged significant innovations in previously existing transportation and commercial technologies.
Those innovations included the compass, astrolabe, larger ships, and new forms of credit like bills, checks, and banks.
The expansion and intensification of long-distance trade routes often depended on people's understanding of a particular regional environment and their subsequent technological adaptations to them.
And the only way people understood technological and environmental adaptations was for themselves to go out into the world of trade.
The writings of certain interregional travelers like Marco Polo, Zheng He, Ibn Battuta illustrate both the extent and limitations of intercultural knowledge and understanding.
The movement of people caused environmental and linguistic effects. Migrations of the people and commercial contracts led to the diffusion of language throughout a new region.
And you cannot forget the language. Islam developed in the Arabian Peninsula from the interactions among Jews, Christians, and the local people. They would introduce their own cultural traditions into the indigenous culture.
The diffusion of Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and Neo-Confucianism often led to significant changes in gender relations, family, and social structure.
There were some important changes in labor management, like the demand for slaves for both military and domestic purposes. There were also changes in gender relations. Social structures were shaped largely by class and hierarchies, and women gained more power and influence.
Whoa! All this information is infused in my brain.
Okay, that was fun. But sadly, this is all the time we have left now.
We really hope you gained some knowledge from this crash course. Remember, you can always leave a comment below for us to respond to.
And also remember to study up your history by looking at some primary sources and your history textbook.
See you next time with a new AP World History Crash Course.
I'm Clara.
And I'm Jessica.